So it's not Big Brother watching you. It's Big Brother helping you.
So yeah, my question was like, what was your first thought when I asked you to join me in an interview session in a sports car?
My first thought was about speed.
All right.
I think speed is important for us in business
Absolutely.
in this ever-changing market. Next to that, quality, and that's also to be seen during this trip.
Yeah.
If we should meet that criterion as well,
Yeah. So quality of driving skills that we'll see,
I will be fine.
but at least the car, yeah, that's something that of course I think a car is very important. It's to be secure with quality. Obviously, the speed is something else because and you can never ensure the security when you're speeding too much. So no, but let us start maybe with a quick introduction for everyone. Who you are, your career, and a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so first of all, my career, I started more than 25 years ago in IT at the manufacturer level with Bechtle. Then after a couple of years, it was more a technical job. I moved into a more commercial job. I moved to the distribution level at Avnet, where I stayed almost 2 decades. As I said, it's more commercial, and then step by step managing people into a leadership role. And since more than a decade, I'm now at partner level at Bechtle. So I've seen the 3 different peers in the group.
And so at Bechtle, what is it exactly your role, or what is it exactly that you're doing?
I'm responsible for sales in Belgium. We have 2 offices, one located in the north, in Belt, focusing on B2B and public, and then one in Brussels, focused also on public and mainly on the European Union institutions.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, both have been merged together in 2024, right?
Indeed, a while ago we decided not to continue with our 3 legal entities, but to merge them into one to be stronger and more unified approach towards the market.
And do you feel that already after about a year and a half? And
on paper was the easy part, that took us less than a year. Collaborating continuously together, finding the best ways of collaborating is an ongoing process.
that I can imagine. And also, can you maybe elaborate a little bit on what Bechtle is doing exactly in the markets?
Yeah, so we position ourselves into the market as a supplier from hardware, software, and services, first of all. Secondly, we do not have a special focus, be it either on the data center, the network, or the endpoint. So we cover all areas. And next to that, we are multi-vendor, neutral, trying to position each time the best vendor mix for a solution that is noted by our customer.
And how would you describe your differentiation against others in the markets?
Well, we are big and small together, meaning we have a big mother company located in Germany. We're present in 14 countries, one of the top players in Europe. On the other side, we stay local, close to the vendor, the distributor, and the customer immediately in the country.
I think one of the elements that I see is indeed the big and small. It's having the force of the mother company, but still remaining agile locally. But that's something very strong, obviously. And locally, how big is your team or organization?
We are 105 people.
Okay.
I'm also proud to say that more than 40% is female.
Okay.
So we try to have a well-balanced group. On the other side, in Brussels, we have the origin of the people, the roots are coming from more than 10 different countries. So it's really a multicultural group. speaking lots of languages. So it's a nice feeling.
And how did you manage, let's say, to have this percentage of female colleagues? Because I think it's very tough, or at least maybe not initially a sexy market for female employees. How did you manage to have still 40% plus females in the company?
I have to admit that it's not across all functions. Let's say that marketing, for example, and operations have lots more women than the sales department. So we're trying to do our best to move it there also into the good direction. But it's easier, as I said, for supporting the unions.
Yeah. And how do you, specifically for the inclusion part, how do you make sure that you interview female employees? How do you make sure to have this stream of female candidates also coming to Bechtle?
Yeah, we do not only reactively work on people that apply, but we proactively approach people into various stats, functions, and markets.
Well, you have an external agency, or you do this internally?
No, we have an internal person that is full-time responsible for doing that.
Recruitment.
Hunting.
Yeah, hunting. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. So that means in the end that you will have a couple of candidates, and if there's a female one, that you need to prefer hiring the female candidates.
Depends on the function and in the expertise, of course, but indeed, sometimes it's the last little point that moves the decision into the one or the other direction.
I understand that. And so when you talk about the employees, do you find it difficult these days to search for real talented people, young talents, retaining talent? I think the war of talent today is very harsh. How do you experience this as the MD of Bechtle Belgium?
Well, first of all, I'm happy that we are at 2 locations. It opens up the door for people who are coming from the eastern part of Belgium or centrally located. So that helps indeed. When you speak about retaining, I'm also happy to say that the average years of service is about 7. At this moment, I checked this morning, so and that's continuous effort from all leadership team, from HR, each and the employee itself.
That's impressive. And how exactly do you then make sure to have this retention rate high, and what exactly are we doing then as a company?
Well, we mainly focus on the individual in our one-to-one sessions between the individual and the direct manager, where we continuously speak about development paths. And then depending on the needs and the possibilities, that's a continuous topic to see what is the next step into the organization, what's the next your career.
And maybe, because you have been at for a couple of years now, and your experience as a CEO has been, multiple years. So I guess this topic is something that has been ongoing for years. Did you see some evolution in this hiring and retaining and the talent, the war of talents?
Especially indeed in the hiring and retaining. The new generations, let's call it in general like that, I have different needs when it comes to work-life balance at first. Where to work, what kind of opportunities, growth opportunities we offer them. Compared to the days when I was young, that's clearly a difference in motivation for the I see that with my own kids as well. My youngest son started at a certain moment at a company, and within 1 year he said, I'm looking for my next job somewhere else. In my time, that was not the typical way of working.
Exactly.
But yeah, time evolves, and as a company, we need to stay in the roots and the expectations of all young individuals.
And how do you see that towards the future? Because it is there's an evolution for sure. How do you see this evolving in the future? This part of the war of talent, search of talent, specifically around this new generations, because they will be our, next future of colleagues, basically.
Yeah, continuously, of course. not only the work-life balance, but also where do you work? Is there flexibility given by the employer on that level? And I think also agile teams working fast together. I think it's going also towards a structure where individuals will have less and less a direct manager and independent, and we'll have to cope with that.
Yeah, I think yes.
Be ready for that.
And specifically when we talk about teams, how is Bechtle organized? Are lots of virtual teams? How is the team collaborating together?
We mainly focus on building the teams by expertise together. Since we do hardware, software, and services, we try to bring all that expertise into knowledge centers internally, so that people can learn from each other, be each other backup, do better workload balancing. That's something we focus on at this moment.
But they're not per se located together. They could be on one site or another.
Indeed, we have cross different location teams. Not all people are sitting in the same office.
Do you have nearshore, offshore?
No, we don't have that at Bechtle. We truly still believe that being close to the customer, literally also, not only virtually, still is key in our business. It's a people business.
And maybe, something around the vision and a strategy for the future. How do you see, the next 5 years in IT? What do you see as the big market trends?
For us, especially since we are focused on, as I said, hardware, software, and services, I have to admit that the services that we do offer to our customers are not coming from Bechtle at first. We don't have any technical people on site and customers doing stuff. We use service partners for that. And as we have proven in other countries by doing M&A and buying service companies, that we strengthen our position in the market and we are getting closer to the customer. So that's on our agenda next to organic growth in Belgium as well.
So you're looking at companies and try to see where there's a potential fit and have this collaboration and services delivered throughout also other companies that you acquire or maybe in partnership as well, if I understand it correctly.
Indeed, so we are looking at Belgian service companies. Mm-hmm. At the moment, we also have collaboration with our Dutch, German, and French colleagues, and use their services at our customers. So that combination is what we strive for.
Okay, and what are other market trends do you see, like in the upcoming years? Something that you think the IT is moving towards?
Yeah, it's nothing new, nothing spectacular. I keep on seeing that it's as a service, be it hardware, be it software, be it managed services, be something that our customers are looking for. The IT is a complex matter in the company to keep everything not only up and running but also secure. It's not possible for the customer to have all the expertise in-house. They're looking for a partner that can do it all for them.
And it's a nice, it isn't that indeed, going to this as a service model, it's something has been going, but will be much more as well, I think. And maybe moving towards yourself a little bit, as CEO, as MD of Bechtle, how is your life organized? It probably living throughout the schedule that someone else is building for you, very busy days. How are you managing these?
By putting the right priorities and say yes when I need to say yes and say no when it's possible. Delegation to my team members. But we believe that it's not up to me to decide all for them. So give them the authority and the responsibility to do it themselves. I need to keep the balance between work and life, like everybody. I need to keep also the balance between our different locations. And also keep the balance between on one side our customers and on the other side our suppliers.
And the work life, did you see an evolution in your work life balance throughout the years?
I would say that since Corona, the home office has been built in each company. I think it also helped me to do some tasks quicker and faster and better at home, and then to be present on less days, but more intensively in the different locations.
And I think throughout the years, and build up experience, not only work experience, but also ways to handle the workload better, ways to handle pressure better. How did that, evolve throughout your career? Like having a pressure of an entire company, that's huge, that's tremendous. How did you feel that evolve throughout the years?
First of all, I try to put all things into their perspective, meaning that not every problem needs to be solved ad hoc. Not every change needs to be done ad hoc. We need to take our time to get used to it, to implement it. I don't believe that enforcing things get too much weird is always needed. People take time to adopt. And I think we need to give ourselves and our teams the time to do so.
Yeah, I think that's good advice as well. Do you have some other advice thing that you see, like those were very, that was very useful advice I received once when I was younger, or that now, we've always received the advice to our entire life. What is the key advice that you would give to the next generation of leaders?
What is a continuous search for us, that for me, is to find the best structure for the people we have on one side, then on the other side, to find the best people for our structure. We should always be careful that with the capabilities of what you have in-house, that you cannot enforce a certain structure, and that you need to find the right people at the right moment, in the right place in the company.
Now, that's a tough one. It's a real tough one, because it is with the right people, I think, that you can build something special. But it is also tough to find the right people at the right timing. So it's a continuous search of adjusting the organization and adjusting, the demands towards that organization as well.
It's a continuous change indeed, but I think patience also helps with age.
Yeah, that I can understand a little. And what is for you like the next stuff, like next things that you want to do still in your career?
Well, we want to continue our continuous growth, organic growth, first of all, and secondly, as I said, add to that a couple of acquisitions in Belgium to strengthen our services offerings and to be closer to our customers. By the way, not only in Belgium, but also in Luxembourg.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to forget sometimes to talk about it.
Absolutely.
It's an interesting market as well. It's different, but it's more closed. However, there is surely ways to get into that.
Okay. And about, you've talked about the next thing that you want to do. What are the key things that you are proud of that you've accomplished in your career?
Looking at the last decade and not further back, so focusing on my current employer, Bechtle, I would say the continuous growth. We have been growing like hell over the last 10 years, and we're still do so. And to be able to cope with that, to take the time to absorb that growth, to organize your people and their structure and their processes and their tooling to make it work somehow is our main achievement for me. Is that it's that both locations built like new buses.
And then throughout those periods of growth, what did you experience as the most difficult part of that? What is keeping you awake at night? Let's say.
It's mainly all about the people. Not lose the people in that continuous change. The growth is not only the volume they grew, but also the complexity. It started from simple hardware with the endpoint into more complex data center network projects on one side, adding software, adding services to that. So people have a continuous adoption needed. Work the way how they work, the way how they work together, the way how they work with their suppliers, with their customers, and to make sure that everybody is not getting too fast with change, but fast enough.
Yeah, well, that's also a tough one because you want to change fast as a company, but on the other hand, you don't want to force the people and change too fast because people obviously they don't like change a lot, even though change is a constant thing and will be constant throughout the rest of our careers. Still, I think it's a tough one to enforce a change and fast change in the organization. Did you experience this as well?
Yeah, and I think it's only solvable by on one side give time, as I said, and also to support the people, to communicate about it, to be very close to them, so that adoption will take place.
And how do you measure the adoption or the success of the plan?
There is different ways. There is not one measurement that says it all. But as I said, growth is one of them. Profitability is one of them. Retention of people is one of them. You could say all of that together. I think there is no one holy grail measurement that tells you.
When I listen to you, Bechtle and certainly the past decades have accomplished all three of them. This high retention of people, high pace, search of talent. So I think all of that has been accomplished by Bechtle. So well done.
Thank you.
No, I think one of the elements that I feel as really interesting is how to be close to a big organization than Bechtle. At least for a Belgian company, it is big and lots of people working, lots of colleagues. How do you remain close with all of them?
And the proximity, it depends. We do have our local finance, our local IT, our local HR, and indeed we lean on that big company in Germany. We are there regularly. I'm there once a quarter. But Bechtle gives a lot of freedom locally to do the things that are locally needed in a different way when needed. So it's not Big Brother watching you. It's Big Brother helping you.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's nice. I met them. And so, what is for you, like the one thing that you would summarize, like your career, if it has to be one word? In a couple of years, you will retire. When then you look back at your career, what is for you the one word that you would describe your career?
I would choose the word team.
Okay.
Because without them, I would never have been able to do so.
It's honorable. Yeah. Really like that one. And how do you remain close to your? Because obviously you have a direct team as well, or direct reports as well. Your management team. How do you remain close to them?
As I said, by being on the different locations are well balanced. It's true that the one location is further away for me to go to than the other one. It's almost a 2-hour drive to Bechtle. For me, coming from home, that's a long day, but it shouldn't trigger me to go less. And then my door is open when I'm not in meeting.
Literally.
Yeah.
And that's also my philosophy, having this open door policy, everyone that can walk in anytime to talk, to share. That's also the feeling I get when we'd have been working together for a couple of years. Also the feeling I got, collaborating together, and so that's great.
Yeah, I try to schedule my days in the office not with fully booked meetings, especially not with fully booked virtual meetings, because then we get better than from home. So I try to keep half of the day empty, so that indeed the door effectively is open in between the meetings instead of having 8-hour meetings a day.
And then how do you decide on which meeting to attend to and which you can let someone else attend in your place, or where you shouldn't attend because your contribution is not needed, let's say?
It's the same as with emails. I tend to be very careful on adding people into an email chain. Only if they're really needed, they will be added, and it's the same for meetings. We need to be very good in choosing the well-balanced group of attendees.
That's a tough one, I think.
Yeah, it's a continuous.
On one hand, you want to inform the people. On the other hand, you don't want to over-inform the people with too much information, and you cannot concentrate on the right information. So how do you see that? Like, when someone else can take over, and when do you actually need to be in the meeting and need to drive it and need to be aware of everything that has been said?
I try most of the time to decide it myself, but I very often go back to the team and say, am I needed? Involve me. If not, then feel free to do it on your own.
That's a trust, and you need to trust your team very well. Yeah, that's also a good one. How big is your team at the moment? Your direct report team?
My direct reports are 6. The total team in Belgium is 104 is the part that I'm responsible for. And then we have another 15 for what we call shared service for HR, finance, legal.
And so do you feel that throughout the years, obviously, your team has changed? What is the perfect amount of direct reports that you see, like, that you can manage them well, that you can lead them well, you can be close to them?
I think it depends at the end on the maturity of the team members. If they're more mature, you can handle more. If it's more like a younger team, then you need to spend time with them. There's many books that try to describe the right number, 7 plus minus 2, up to 10 or 12. I think it really depends on the role that the team has and the maturity. So there is no one magic number.
No. It depends on the organization as well, on the needs of what the team below is doing. Oh, exactly. I fully agree with that. And if you would look at the past years, we've talked about your team, we've talked about your own career, but what about your personal life? How did that evolve? Linked to obviously your professional life. Did you feel that at some point in your life you had to slow down a bit to take control of your life, or was that quite stable throughout your entire?
I should have maybe done to slow down, but it's not in my nature. Just keep on going. And I think, like with many of us, not all, but many, I regret not having seen my kids grow up. They're now 25, 26. And if I would redo my life, I would try to slow down more.
And would you then still achieve what you achieved?
Well, I cannot live the two lives, so I don't know. But at least I guess it would need a different approach.
More balanced.
More balanced, and trying to delegate when needed, to give opportunities to your team members to grow, and let them go with the flow.
So that's also good advice. Have a more balanced life. Let's try to push your own boundaries, and maybe have less regrets about I should have, or I had to spend more time with my family, because I hear this a lot. People regretting in a way not seeing their children grow up. That regret comes maybe too late. Sometimes it doesn't, maybe.
Yeah, and in my case, I was lucky that the mother of the two kids took that part of the task split and did very well. So
that's always good to be.
It's a luxury.
after every or behind every big businessman is an even bigger partner from supporting the growth as well, in a way, the growth of your career or of the family, of your life, basically, or kind of life. That's also nice. And what in terms of personal life do you like? What is your next plan for the coming years? How do you see your balance between your professional and your private life?
I tend to be, as I said earlier, due to Corona, of course, the home office has been built in. I tend to all layers at all levels, including mine. That helps. 1 or 2 days in the week. That's my target. Doesn't always work, but that's what I try to do. It also helps to free up time, say, during travel time. Good with the car?
Yeah, I think so. Some small noises, but we'll get that one for sure. Oh, and maybe something you want to still achieve as an MD. Something you say, okay, that's something I want to achieve. That's my personal mission for the coming years still that I want to do.
For the coming 3 years, indeed, our main objective is to acquire companies that are specialized in services, both in Belgium and in Luxembourg. That's our main goal.
So that is something you will be personally part of?
I'm trying to help to find one, and then it all depends on the size, the maturity of the organization, on the management team that is there. And then we need to reshuffle the cards and see who has which cards on the table to do what part of the job going forward.
Yep.
I don't have a plan to take a certain position. I'm open to leave lots of responsibilities to the newcomers.
Which is also honorable. Is this something you see yourself also doing, like slowing down towards the end of your career?
I try to decide every year for the next year. So in January I decided that this year is still good to go.
Yeah.
As long as health is there and happiness, both in private and in work life. As long as that is there and as long as I'm wanted in the market, I continue.
Yep.
Year by year.
As long as you have, the energy, the drive, the health, obviously,
and the fun.
And the fun. I think it is all. Also, it has to be a bit fun. Just like this car experience. Let's say, even though I didn't drive like that crazy fast, I think it's still a different setting to have a talk about, personal life, professional life, the balance.
It's not a speed date, but it's a meeting.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. Yeah, it's not a speed date. But still, I think it's very enriching to have, someone with your experience to share his view on the market, on the balance, on the issues, the challenges that there are in the market in general. Because it is a very challenging market. Just like that, we can lose customers, we can lose employees. We need to make sure to be on all fronts at top level, and that's a high pressure. But we also do not need to overthink it, obviously. Otherwise, yes, we got lost in the process. But so keep it simple. Sometimes it's also a very successful, way forward. And so maybe some final advice to the people listening, maybe not yet in a leadership position, but having the ambition to be in a leadership position. What is for you like the advice to move into a leadership position?
Find the balance and take your time. we try to go with high speeds like this car. Although you have been one, if I may say so, that has grown at a very young age so spectacularly.
I don't know if it was too fast, but it was really fast. But,
Fast
still,
enough.
yeah, fast enough, yeah, it was. Yeah, I like speed even on that level as well. So that was well.
Because I'm still in you are.
I'm now 34. Yeah. So still lots of growth potential, obviously. Yeah, that's for sure.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me and see you soon.
Yeah, thank you. See you soon.